10th. It's Tuesday. Oh, I just remember the 5th of November, which clearly I forgot. I am moving again. Right now I live in Astoria, Queens, New York, and it's a really great town. I'm a big food person. I'm a foodie. Like, I like food. Um, and with everything that's been happening, there's a lot more restaurants that are outside. And I enjoy that. I enjoy having access to restaurants very easily. I do. And I'm just pulling up my comments too right here. So moving within the same town, and it's just close enough to be like, oh, this is going to be so easy, and just far enough to be like, this is so annoying. And I've moved many times in my life. So I lived in the same place until I went to college. So I moved to and from my childhood home to college, where I was a resident and then a resident assistant and then a grad student. And then I just stayed in New York. I went to St. John's in Queens, and I just ended up staying in the city and in Long Island. I lived in a few places in Long Island. I think I'm gonna like just stay in this area my whole life unless something amazing happens. Amazing, because this is where my friends, my family are, and this is like I've moved so many times. If anything, I would want to move like one more time to be until it's like, yes, this is I'm supposed to be here. This is where I'm supposed to be. Yes. I counted it up one time, like how many times I've moved and how many places I've lived, and I think this makes it my 18th time moving, which is a ridiculous number. Ridiculous number. I can't believe it sometimes. I'm like, I'm very good at packing. I'm very good at packing, and I'm very good at like looking at like a car and deciding how many trips it's going to take, like, and how to fit things. It's like doing a puzzle. It's like Tetris, but with your stuff, right? In like multiple ways. I played lot of Tetris. As a child, as a young child. A young child. It's gonna go to my channel, just see how I can, I still don't exactly know what's happening with this stuff. Oh my gosh, can you hear that? Where does that play? Oh, I know. Oh, I see. I don't understand what's happening with my stream right now because it's not on my Twitch. And I think it's working on my Facebook. It's working on my Facebook. Thank you for watching. I'll pull that up, but it's like, why is my Twitch not working? Why is it so complicated to get this stuff working real good? Huh? What? My neighbors are outside right now talking. I have a webcam too, and it's like, oh, I want to get that set up, but I'm just going to end up opening it up, using it once, and then moving it to the new place. So it's like, I'll have to just pack it again. I should be done moving the stuff in this apartment by the end of this week, or hopefully this weekend. Still got some food. I gotta make some food. But yeah, I have a lot of, if you ever need any advice on moving, listen to me! Listen to me. Look, if you can hire movers, just hire movers because it sucks. Moving your stuff. Being a single person trying to move a couch is ridiculous. Even moving a twin bed, it's like, I don't want to move a twin bed by myself. I don't want to move a chest of drawers by myself. So, finally hired movers, which is the first time I've done that because every time before I've moved myself or like maybe one, two other people have helped me with like big items. One time though, I was moving into an apartment in Queens and Fresh Meadows. It was on the second floor, and at the time I had a vintage bar, um, like a teak vintage bar. It was very heavy, and but it was like, you know, box shaped. It wasn't like a weird shape where it would be difficult for me to like get this piece of furniture into a room or something on the same level by myself. Like, okay, it's gonna be annoying to kind of like shift it around, but oh, I can do it. And maybe because of that, I thought that it would be a good idea for me. It ended up being okay. First of all, I'm not dead. Let me just start the story off with just saying I'm not dead, but this happened to me once where I thought it'd be a great idea to just move this thing by myself because then I'll be able to get all their stuff done. Let me move this vintage wood bar by myself up the stairs in the city. So I was like, physics works, and turned it upside down and kind of laid it on the steps so that I could like slide it up. It would be like, pretend this is the bar, and it was like this is the steps, and so I just laid the bar, and this hand is me, and I'm trying to push the bar up the steps because it's flat surface, and I did it, except right before I reached the top of the staircase, it was 2 steps from the top of the staircase, I suddenly felt very, very tired, and I started to feel myself slip. So I'm pushing a bar upstairs, literally like this, like 45-degree angle like this, or whatever degree angle. And I was like, this is how I'm going to die. I'm going to die by being crushed by a vintage bar that I didn't even necessarily want. I didn't want it. It was more like thrust upon me when I received it. I'm like, no, you should definitely get this. It's such a cheap bar, and everyone needs a bar, which is not true. And I think the fear of being known as a woman who got crushed by a vintage bar trying to move herself into a second-story apartment, that would have just been, like, I would have been mad to be like, okay, I'm a ghost, and this is what I have to reconcile. This deep embarrassment of being killed by being crushed while moving. So dumb. It's so dumb. Oh god. That was a fun moving story. I had that same apartment actually when I left. The reason I left that apartment was because I wanted to really feel independent. I had never gotten like a lot of time to myself, like living by myself. I lived in one apartment in Long Island for like a handful of months. This Oh, this is a fun story. This is a fun, awful story. So it was, I want to say 2013. Whenever Hurricane Sandy was, because this has to do with Hurricane Sandy. Stupid, stupid hurricane. And I didn't even get off that bad with it. Basically, what happened was, it was right before Hurricane Sandy. I had gone through a very bad breakup, and I found this apartment in Long Island that would allow me to live by myself for the first time ever. So it's like, I don't want to live in Long Island, but I gotta just go out there. I gotta do this. So I did, but it was right after Halloween, and I just had a very bad breakup. So it was very emotional. And the night before I went to go sign my lease, I got very intoxicated at a bar at like a whatchamacallit, for a birthday party that was also a Halloween party. So I woke up very hungover, and all my friends were very mad at me because I had gotten very drunk and made a scene of myself. I've never had something happen to me like that before. Okay, it's traumatic, and I was a very young woman, and I didn't know how to deal with it, in a healthy way, other than to get drunk while dressed as a French maid at a Halloween birthday party. Oopsie doopsie. So I wake up, I'm like, I have to go sign this lease. So I drove out to Long Island, and having to pull over every few stops on, like every few exits on the Long Island Expressway so that I could throw up. Got to the apartment, which was like a mother-in-law suite in a house, and my landlord had this very strong perfume on, and so I'm signing the documents and trying very, very hard not to throw up. And she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just had a very long day. It was just a lot happened this weekend." And she was like, "Okay." Signed everything, and I was like, "I think I'm just gonna like hang out here for a little bit and then head out because I didn't have anything packed. Everything was in storage. I just needed to sign this lease." And she's like, "Okay, don't forget there's like a hurricane coming, so just, be careful." And I'm like, "Okay." She leaves. I finally throw up. And I curl up in the middle of my apartment on the floor, on carpeted floor. There's nothing in that apartment. It's a completely empty apartment. Except there's me and my purse, and I'm curled up on the floor. And I slept for several hours before waking up again, seeing, oh, it's getting dark and cloudy outside. I should probably seek shelter that has stuff in it. And so I decided I'll go to my parents' house. I have to bring my stuff down anyways. I left, and then Hurricane Sandy happened. I got lucky, filled up my gas tank by my parents, and gas lasted me the whole week. When I got to my apartment, I was like, wow, that was bad. That was a bad storm. Wow, look at all these trees all over the place. And I drive back to my apartment, and there's like trees down on the property. And my landlord is like, yeah, there's no running water, there's no electricity. I was like, okay, well, I can't live here. Right. And then I did not have a place to live for like 3 weeks. I was just couch surfing on my friends' couches until finally I could move in. And then a week later, my landlord was like, so in 2 months, we're going to have to raise your rent $500 more each month. And I was like, what? I've lived here literally 1 week after being delayed for 3 weeks. she's like, yeah, because of Hurricane Sandy, we're gonna have to make repairs, so we have to increase the rent, and that's as part of the contract. Like, we had a month-to-month contract. In order for me to get a rent increase, I would have to be told like 2 months in advance. So, how's that for a fun landlord story? Because hear stories about bad residents. Excuse me, I'm a very good resident. So I don't even want to hear it. I've never been a landlord, so I don't know the stress of it, but I imagine it's very stressful. Anyways, that sucked. And I was really mad because, you know, it's like, alright, well then I can't even plan to make this place feel like my own. It was my first apartment. It was like I needed to have something that was mine and like that no one else could take away from me, and then there immediately that happens. So it's not fun. Moving is not fun. But yeah, my point of what I was just saying was like I didn't make that apartment feel like my apartment, like home, because I was there in such a short amount of time. I moved to another house right after this one. I had a roommate again. Sorry for the background noise, by the way. I had a roommate again, and I was really excited for the new place. I had to paint a lot. By the way, hey, don't paint don't paint your walls like forest green and brown if you're a renter. Like, that's a shitty move. The landlord really should have painted it themselves, but they didn't. But I did it. But anyways, either way, don't paint stuff that's not yours, like colors that are gonna be difficult for other people to have to deal with. That's just so rude. So, anyways, I painted this whole place. My roommate and I got the carpet replaced also. And then the landlord was like, we're going to put the house on the market. Excuse me? I just fixed up your home, and now you're like, oh, it's better than we expect. Let's get someone else to buy it. It was just another kind of situation for like, oh my god, why are people so aggravating? I just want to live in a place that's safe and comfortable for like a significant amount of time, and have it feel like my own place, like, or at least that I belong there. When you move into an apartment that already has somebody living in it, it's never gonna feel like home. Or at least in my experience, for myself, for anyone else who has ever kind of, oh yeah, I'm gonna just move into this place, it's never works out to be very comfortable. Because it's like, oh, this is already claimed. I don't know how else to say it, but like if you are in a relationship and you're gonna be moving into a place together, get a new apartment, completely new apartment together. Don't move into each other's apartments. Whoa. It's never a good idea. Do you hear this? It's never a good idea. It always ends up to be complete madness. If anyone has ever had a positive experience with someone that you're dating moves into your place, or you were someone who moved into your significant other's place, I would really like to hear how it worked out. Because as far as I know, anyone who ever did something like that eventually broke up or otherwise fought about it, like until a new place was found. I don't know. Something about human nature, something about how we view our shelter. Maybe. So yeah. My current apartment is great. It was a kind of situation where I moved in, and my roommate who I've known since high school was already living here for like a few years, and so I replaced somebody, and it's been a good apartment, but I don't feel like this is home. And it's too small for what I want to do now, which is a lot, many things. I need more space to do some more. If you've watched me struggle to put together my side of a sketch for an interview from hell, it took so long just because it's working with the space. It's not worth it. So, managed to find a new place with 2 new roommates. They seem awesome. And we're all just moving in at the same time. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be better. Especially with the winters coming. Need to have a need to have a place where I'm able to pace, and I'm able to pace there. Apparently, I really like hallways. Didn't really know that about myself before, but I've realized I enjoy a good hallway. I also really want it to be much quieter. Other apartment stories. This is a fun one. I lived in Flushing for a while, and there was one day where I guess they're okay. Anyways, I lived in Flushing for a while. There's one day I heard like a fire alarm. It's like beep, 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 and it's like, where is that coming from? It's not coming from my apartment, or maybe the neighbors or something. And for days, I'm talking 3 days, this alarm was going off all the time, including in the night. It wouldn't stop. And finally, I was like, I have to find out where it's coming from because I'm going crazy. So, I picked up I put on my shoes, I remember, and I stuck my head outside the window, and I looked around, and it sounded like it was coming from outside. So I was like, I gotta go find out. So I went outside, and it was dark out, and I like creep around the building, because I'm like nervous, because I've never done this before, and I'm afraid, because it just feels like it had scary movie vibes, you know, where it's like, okay, I'm going to go investigate a sound in darkness. So what I did was I crept around in the dark very slowly, trying to figure out where the beeping's coming from until it got louder and louder, and then I found a bucket of gravel. And I was like, it's coming from this bucket of gravel. I kick over the bucket of gravel, and a fire alarm comes out. And it's beeping away. Beep, 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 beep. Beeping as it was the loudest. I'm like listening, like I'm like standing there with my fingers like in my ears. Some very sensitive sound too. And I was like, it must be destroyed. And I was trying to figure out like how to take the batteries out. And then I think I got the batteries out, but it didn't stop beeping. Like maybe I missed a battery or two or something. I don't know. I don't know what was happening, but I was like, I have to smash this. So I found like a length of wood. I found like a 2x4, and I beat the shit, like Office Space style, out of this fire alarm until it stopped. And I felt very powerful. It's so stupid. But yeah, I felt I was very happy to destroy something that was making me deeply unhappy and sleep deprived. I was like, I can't live like this. There can only be one of us. That was a great apartment. I had a massive kitchen, except I couldn't reach the cabinets because it was pre-World War II, and it was just like, I don't know, people need like ladders to get to the stuff. But yeah, moving is not the funnest. Let me think if I have any other moving stories. I remember just being a broke college, a broke post-bachelor's degree kid, in her 20s. And like not having a lot of furniture. I still don't really have a lot of furniture. I mean, the furniture that I've accumulated, I haven't bought any of it. It's dumpster dive chic, okay? No, but yeah, this, like, it's here already. And brand new or well preserved. So I was like, oh, hey, might as well take all this stuff. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of furniture. But anyways, so I moved into a place in Long Island. The house that ended up getting sold. I didn't really have furniture, but I had, like, I had a chair, like an IKEA chair, that would attach to, like, a chaise lounge. So, my dad moved the chaise lounge and this chair to my apartment, and then we couldn't figure out how to reattach it. So, I had a 3-legged chair that became just the chair. You know what? Everyone has the chair. It's like a chair in a bedroom or someplace where you just throw whatever on it. It's never sat on by a person. It just is the holder of things higher than the ground. So I had a 3-legged chair that no one could sit on because it's like, it's not going to work. But it would hold all my dirty laundry, you know? And that was that part of the room. That reminds me I need to pick up my laundry tomorrow. Other moving stuff. I don't know. I really feel like I could be somebody that would be able to live in a tiny house. But the thought of getting good internet in a tiny house, nah. Let's hope that they make the developments. We have the technology. It is doable. We just need to make it marketable to the average citizen, person, community member, whatever. They would sell so many of those. Like, that's gonna be the next, like, housing craze or whatever. It's not gonna be like houses that are built into like foundations. Like, these are gonna be things that are portable. People want things that are portable. You know why? Because everything sucks. People don't want to put down roots in places that are, unpredictable or, just like, they just want to do it. Oh, that's funny. So, yeah. Excuse me, but this has been a good break time. This is my relaxation time. I'm going to fill up a car that I rented with stuff, bring it over, because it's going to be much less traffic, free parking, and it's just less people to move stuff in the night. Oh, I moved everything in like the middle of the night one time. Oh, I think I started to say that before. Yeah, I was like, I'm out of this apartment. No, I can't live here anymore. I moved all my stuff out, like, within like 2 hours. I was like, I gotta get out of here. And I did it. Paid my share, and was happy to not be there. That's an experience I've had in my life. Moving. Well, alright. Thank you for watching me talk to myself for like a half an hour. It's been lovely. I will be back to streaming games soon, especially after this weekend once I have everything set up again. And I'll be using, hopefully, a camera instead of my phone to do this stuff, because I think there's also a little bit of a delay on this, and it's not okay with me, and I also don't get sound, and it makes me cranky, and that's what I've got to say about it. Alright. Thanks for watching!